Here are 30 most commonly asked SAP S/4HANA Greenfield implementation-related scenario-based interview questions, along with detailed and informative answers. These questions are designed to reflect real-world challenges, including some curveball questions prefixed with curveball question to simulate high-stakes, unpredictable scenarios. 1. Scenario: your client is planning a Greenfield S/4HANA implementation, but is concerned about the timeline for a multi-country rollout. How would you structure the project timeline to ensure efficiency? Answer: to structure an efficient timeline for a multi-country Greenfield S/4HANA implementation, I would adopt the SAP Activate methodology, tailoring it to the client's global requirements. A. Assess scope and phasing. Conduct fit-to-standard workshops to define global and local processes, prioritizing core modules, for example, FI, CO, MM, for initial rollout in a pilot country, followed by phased rollouts for others. B. Leverage SAP best practices. Use pre-configured SAP best practices to accelerate configuration and reduce customization, ensuring consistency across countries. C. Parallel workstreams. Establish parallel workstreams for data migration, configuration, and testing to compress timelines with clear milestones for each country. D. Centralized governance. Implement SAP Central Business Configuration (CBC) to manage global templates and localize configurations, reducing rework. E. Timeline optimization. Plan for a 6 to 12-month pilot phase, with subsequent countries rolled out every 3 to 6 months, depending on complexity. Regular status tracking via SAP Cloud (ALM) ensures alignment. This approach balances speed, standardization, and local compliance, minimizing delays. 2. Scenario: during the prepare phase, the client discovers that their legacy data is inconsistent and incomplete. How would you address this to ensure a successful data migration? Answer: addressing inconsistent and incomplete legacy data is critical for a successful greenfield data migration. I would initiate a structured data cleansing and preparation process. A. Data assessment. Collaborate with business teams to profile legacy data, using tools like SAP Data Services, identifying gaps and inconsistencies. B. Data cleansing plan. Define cleansing rules, for example, deduplication, standardization, and assign ownership to business users for validation. C. Use SAP tools. Leverage the SAP S/4HANA Migration Cockpit to map and transform data, ensuring compatibility with the simplified S/4HANA data model. D. Mock migrations. Conduct multiple mock migrations in the quality system to validate data integrity and address errors early. E. Stakeholder buy-in. Engage stakeholders to prioritize critical data. For example, master data like customers, materials to ensure business continuity. This proactive approach minimizes go-live risks and ensures high-quality data in the new system. 3. Scenario: a stakeholder insists on extensive customizations during the fit-to-standard workshops. How would you guide them toward a clean core approach? Answer: convincing a stakeholder to adopt a clean core approach requires demonstrating its long-term benefits while addressing their concerns. I would explain that a clean core minimizes technical debt and enables faster upgrades. During fit-to-standard workshops, I would showcase SAP best practices and standard Fiori apps to meet their requirements. If customizations are unavoidable, I would recommend using SAP Business Technology Platform (BTP) for side-by-side extensions to keep the core unmodified. By presenting case studies of reduced maintenance costs and faster innovation cycles with the clean core, I would align their expectations with SAP's recommended practices, ensuring scalability and agility. 4. Scenario: the client's IT team reports that the new S/4HANA system is running slower than expected during testing. How would you diagnose and resolve this performance issue? Answer: to diagnose and resolve performance issues in an S/4HANA system, A systematic approach is essential. A. Performance analysis. Use SAP HANA Cockpit to monitor CPU, memory, and disk usage. Identifying bottlenecks like high memory consumption or slow queries. B. Query optimization. Analyze slow-running SQL queries using the SQL plan cache, and optimize them by adjusting table partitioning or indexing. C. System sizing review. Verify if the system sizing aligns with SAP's quick sizer recommendations, ensuring adequate resources for the workload. D. Configuration check. Review configuration settings, such as HANA parameters, to ensure they're optimized for the workload, for example, OLTP versus OLAP. E. Engage SAP support. If issues persist, leverage SAP Solution Manager to log incidents and apply recommended patches. This structured approach ensures rapid resolution and optimal system performance. 5. Scenario. During the go-live phase, a critical interface with the third-party system fails. How would you handle this to minimize downtime? Answer. A failed third-party interface during go-live requires immediate action to minimize business disruption. I would first validate the interface configuration in SAP Cloud Platform Integration (CPI) to identify errors like incorrect mappings or authentication issues. Next, I would engage the third-party vendor to confirm their system's availability and compatibility. Using SAP Cloud ALM, I would monitor logs to pinpoint the failure's root cause. As a workaround, I would implement manual data exchange, for example, CSV uploads to maintain operations while resolving the issue. Post-resolution, I would conduct regression testing in the quality system to prevent recurrence, ensuring seamless integration. 6. Scenario. The client wants to implement SAP Fiori apps in their greenfield project, but lacks clarity on the scope. How would you guide them in selecting the right apps? Answer. Guiding a client in selecting SAP Fiori apps involves aligning their business needs with available apps. I would conduct fit-to-standard workshops to map their processes to standard Fiori apps in the SAP Fiori apps library. For example, for finance, I would recommend apps like managed journal entries for real-time reporting. I would prioritize role-based apps to enhance user productivity and ensure mobile accessibility. Using SAP Cloud ALM, I would simulate app functionality in the starter system to validate fit. Finally, I would train users on selected apps to ensure adoption, keeping customizations minimal to maintain a clean core. 7. Scenario. The client's business team reports that master data governance is weak in their legacy system. How would you set up master data governance (MDG) in a greenfield implementation? Answer. Establishing robust master data governance (MDG) in a greenfield S/4HANA implementation ensures data quality and consistency. A. Define governance framework. Collaborate with business stakeholders to establish MDG rules for key domains, for example, customer, material, using SAP MDG. B. Configure MDG processes. Set up workflows in MDG for data creation, change requests, and approvals to enforce standardization. C. Integrate with legacy systems. Use SAP Data Services to extract and cleanse legacy master data before loading it into MDG. D. Automate validation. Implement data quality rules, for example, format checks, deduplication within MDG to prevent errors. E. User training. Train business users on MDG workflows to ensure compliance and adoption. This approach establishes a scalable, centralized governance model for long-term data integrity. 8. Scenario. During cutover, a critical job chain fails, delaying the go-live. What steps would you take to resolve this issue? Answer. Resolving a failed job chain during cutover requires swift action to keep the go-live on track. I would use SAP Solution Manager to check SM37 logs and identify the failure's root cause, for example, authorization errors, resource constraints. I would then prioritize restarting or rescheduling the job after addressing the issue, such as granting missing permissions or increasing system resources. To minimize delays, I would execute parallel jobs where possible and communicate with stakeholders to adjust the cutover plan. Post-resolution, I would document the issue and update the job schedule to prevent recurrence, ensuring a smooth go-live. Please check description or comment section of this video. I have given a lot of links for downloading 8 PDFs in a single zip file, containing all types of most asked interview question and answers like scenario-based, technical-based, behavioral-based, real-world problem-solving, generally most asked, system design, most asked implementation project-related questions and answers, support project-related questions and answers. Required for your SAP technical modules interviews jobs like SAP Basis admin jobs, SAP S4 HANA consultant jobs, SAP abap developer jobs, SAP abap OData developer jobs, SAP Fiori UE5 developer jobs, SAP abap HR consultant jobs, etc., etc. These questions and answers are carefully curated by industry experts, saving you people hours of research and ensuring you people will have the most accurate and relevant answers. This PDFs includes scenario-based questions and answers, real-world problem solving, interview questions and answers where almost 80% of the people are failing to answer, system design questions and answers where almost 90% of the people are failing to answer, with detailed solutions, which are often missing from free online resources. A lot of people are claiming that these questions are coming in real interviews. So, grab them as soon as possible with both hands. Since these questions and answers covers basic to advanced interview questions and answers, that's why given 50 question and answers for each section, these questions and answers will be helpful for freshers, 2 to 3 years experienced people, and 5 or above years experienced people. Also for your interviews, you people can download all 8 PDFs in a single zip file from below given links. 9. Scenario: the client wants to ensure high availability in their new S/4HANA system. How would you design the system architecture to achieve this? Answer: designing a high availability HA architecture for a greenfield S/4HANA system ensures minimal downtime and business continuity. A. System replication. Configure SAP HANA System Replication HSR with synchronous mode for real-time data replication to a secondary node. B. Redundant infrastructure. Deploy redundant application servers and load balancers to distribute workloads and prevent single points of failure. C. Failover strategy. Set up automated failover using cluster management tools like Pacemaker for Linux-based systems. D. Monitoring tools. Implement SAP HANA Cockpit and SAP Cloud ALM for real-time monitoring of system health and alerts. E. Testing. Conduct regular failover tests in the quality system to validate HA setup. This architecture ensures near zero downtime and robust performance. 10. Scenario: client reports that post-go live, users are struggling with the new Fiori interface. How would you address user adoption issues? Answer: addressing user adoption issues with SAP Fiori requires a focus on training and change management. I would organize role-based training sessions using SAP Enable now to demonstrate Fiori's intuitive features, tailored to user roles, for example, finance, procurement. I would also deploy SAP Companion for an app guidance to assist users during tasks. Regular feedback sessions would help identify pain points, which I would address through targeted workshops or app customizations via SAP BTP. By showcasing productivity gains, for example, fewer clicks than ECC, I would build user confidence, ensuring widespread adoption and minimal disruption. 11. Curveball question. Scenario: during the explore phase, a key stakeholder insists on replicating their legacy systems. Custom reports in S/4HANA. Despite the availability of standard Fiori analytics, how would you handle this demand? Answer: handling a stakeholder's insistence on replicating legacy custom reports requires diplomacy and a strategic approach. I would acknowledge their need for familiar reporting, but highlight the benefits of standard Fiori analytics, such as real-time insights and reduced maintenance. During fit-to-standard workshops, I would demonstrate how Fiori apps like Analytical List Page can meet their needs with minimal customization. If specific requirements persist, I would propose developing custom reports on SAP BTP to keep the core clean, ensuring scalability. I would also quantify the cost and effort of maintaining custom reports versus leveraging standard analytics, aligning their expectations with best practices. 12. Scenario: the client's legacy system has complex integrations with third-party applications. How would you manage these in a greenfield implementation? Answer: managing complex integrations in a greenfield S/4HANA implementation requires a structured approach to ensure seamless connectivity. I would use SAP Cloud Platform Integration (CPI) to design standard integration flows for third-party systems, leveraging pre-built connectors for common applications, for example, Salesforce, Ariba. During the explore phase, I would map integration requirements in fit-to-standard workshops, prioritizing APIs over custom interfaces. I would test integrations in the quality system using SAP Cloud ALM to monitor data flows and resolve errors. Post-go live, I would implement monitoring via CPI to ensure stability, minimizing disruptions to business processes. 13. Scenario: the client is concerned about data security in the new S/4HANA system. How would you ensure robust security measures? Answer: ensuring robust data security in a greenfield S/4HANA implementation is critical for compliance and trust. A. Role-based access. Configure role-based access controls using SAP GRC to restrict access to sensitive data, for example, financials, HR. B. Encryption. Enable encryption at rest and in transit using SAP HANA's built-in features and TLS for network security. C. Security audits. Schedule regular audits via SAP Solution Manager to identify vulnerabilities and ensure compliance with standards like GDPR. D. User authentication. Implement SAP Cloud Identity for secure single sign-on SSO across the system landscape. E. Monitoring. Use SAP HANA Cockpit to monitor security events and detect anomalies. This comprehensive approach safeguards sensitive data and ensures regulatory compliance. 14. Scenario: during testing, you notice data inconsistencies in a critical financial table CDOCA. How would you troubleshoot and resolve this? Answer: resolving data inconsistencies in the CDOCA table requires a methodical approach to maintain financial integrity. I would use SAP HANA Cockpit to analyze the table for anomalies, such as missing or duplicate entries. Next, I would trace the data load process using the SAP S/4HANA Migration Cockpit logs to identify errors in mapping or transformation rules. I would collaborate with the FI team to validate data against legacy sources, correcting inconsistencies via data cleansing in SAP Data Services. After resolving the issue, I would rerun mock migrations and perform reconciliation to ensure accuracy, preventing go-live issues. 15. Scenario: the client wants to leverage embedded analytics in S/4HANA for real-time reporting. How would you set this up? Answer: setting up embedded analytics in S/4HANA enables real-time, data-driven decisions. I would configure SAP Fiori analytical apps, for example, Cash Flow Analyzer, to provide role-based dashboards, leveraging the in-memory HANA database for real-time data processing. During the realize phase, I would activate relevant core data services CDS views to support analytical queries. I would also train users on creating custom reports using SAP Analytics Cloud if needed, ensuring minimal core modifications. Regular performance tuning via HANA Cockpit would ensure fast query execution, enhancing reporting efficiency. 16. Scenario: a critical background job fails repeatedly post-go live due to authorization errors. How would you resolve this? Answer: resolving repeated authorization errors in a background job requires a structured troubleshooting process. I would check SM37 logs in SAP Solution Manager to identify the specific authorization failure, for example, missing roles for the job user. Using SU53, I would analyze the missing authorizations and assign the appropriate roles via PFCG, ensuring least privilege principles. I would then test the job in the quality system to confirm resolution. To prevent recurrence, I would update the job documentation and schedule regular role audits, ensuring seamless operations. 17. Scenario: the client wants to implement a hybrid deployment model for their Greenfield S/4HANA project. How would you design this architecture? Answer: designing a hybrid deployment for a Greenfield S/4HANA implementation balances on-premise control with cloud flexibility. A. Core system setup: deploy critical modules, for example, FI, CO, on-premise for control over sensitive data, using SAP HANA Enterprise Edition. B. Cloud extensions: leverage SAP BTP for non-core functions like analytics or IoT, migrating via SAP Cloud Connector. C. Integration: use SAP Cloud Platform Integration CPI for seamless data flows between on-premise and cloud components. D. Security: implement SAP Cloud Identity for unified authentication across both environments. E. Monitoring: use SAP Cloud ALM to monitor performance and ensure consistency. This hybrid model ensures scalability while meeting compliance needs. Please check description or comment section of this video. I have given a lot of links for downloading 8 PDFs in a single zip file, containing all types of most asked interview question and answers like scenario-based, technical-based, behavioral-based, real-world problem solving, generally most asked, system design, most asked implementation project-related questions and answers, support project-related questions and answers. Required for your SAP technical modules interviews jobs like SAP Basis admin jobs, SAP S/4HANA consultant jobs, SAP abap developer jobs, SAP abap OData developer jobs, SAP Fiori UE5 developer jobs, SAP abap HR consultant jobs, etc., etc. These questions and answers are carefully curated by industry experts, saving you people hours of research and ensuring you people will have the most accurate and relevant answers. This PDFs includes scenario-based questions and answers, real-world problem solving, interview questions and answers where almost 80% of the people are failing to answer, system design questions and answers where almost 90% of the people are failing to answer, with detailed solutions, which are often missing from free online resources. A lot of people are claiming that these questions are coming in real interviews. So, grab them as soon as possible with both hands. Since these questions and answers covers basic to advanced interview questions and answers, that's why given 50 question and answers for each section, these questions and answers will be helpful for freshers, 2 to 3 years experienced people, and 5 or above years experienced people. Also for your interviews, you people can download all 8 PDFs in a single zip file from below given links. 18. Scenario: during Hypercare, users report slow transaction processing in the production system. How would you diagnose and optimize performance? Answer: diagnosing slow transaction processing during Hypercare requires rapid action to maintain user trust. I would use SAP HANA Cockpit to monitor system metrics, for example, CPU, memory, I, or O, and identify bottlenecks. Analyzing slow queries via the SQL plan cache, I would optimize them by adjusting indexes or partitioning. I would also review system sizing using SAP Quick Sizer to ensure adequate resources. If the issue persists, I would apply SAP notes or patches via SAP Solution Manager. Finally, I would implement proactive monitoring with SAP Cloud ALM to prevent future slowdowns, ensuring optimal performance. 19. Scenario: the client requires a disaster recovery plan for their S/4HANA system. How would you design and test it? Answer: designing a disaster recovery DR plan for a greenfield S/4HANA system ensures business continuity. I would configure SAP HANA System Replication HSR in asynchronous mode for a secondary data center, ensuring data redundancy. I would set up automated backups using SAP HANA's backup tools, storing them in a secure, off-site location. A DR plan would include detailed recovery steps, with roles assigned to the basis team. I would test the plan quarterly in the quality system, simulating outages. To validate recovery time objectives (RTO) and recovery point objectives (RPO). This ensures rapid recovery with minimal data loss. 20. Scenario: the client's business processes require significant changes to standard SAP best practices. How would you manage these customizations? Answer: managing significant changes to SAP best practices requires balancing business needs with a clean core. During fit-to-standard workshops, I would evaluate the necessity of each change, advocating for standard processes where possible. For unavoidable customizations, I would use SAP BTP to develop side-by-side extensions, avoiding core modifications. I would document all customizations in SAP Cloud ALM for traceability and test them thoroughly in the quality system. Post-go live, I would monitor their performance and maintain them via SAP Solution Manager, ensuring long-term maintainability and upgradability. 21. Curveball question. Scenario: during go live, a critical Fiori app fails to load due to a configuration error, but the error logs are unclear. How would you troubleshoot this under time pressure? Answer: to troubleshoot a Fiori app failure under go live pressure, I would adopt a focused approach. I would access the Fiori Launchpad logs via SAP Gateway using transaction/IWFND/error_log to identify configuration issues, such as missing OData services or incorrect role assignments. I would verify the application's activation in the SAP Fiori apps library and ensure the correct SICF nodes are active. As a temporary workaround, I would enable a fallback application or manual process to maintain operations. After resolving the issue, I would test the application in the quality system and document changes in SAP Cloud ALM, ensuring stability under tight deadlines. 22. Scenario: the client wants to implement SAP S/4HANA Cloud Private Edition for their greenfield project. How would you plan the system landscape? Answer: to plan the system landscape for SAP S/4HANA Cloud Private Edition, I would ensure scalability and efficiency. 3 System landscape. I would set up starter, quality, and production systems, with the starter system used for fit-to-standard workshops. B. Central Business Configuration (CBC). I would use CBC to provision and configure systems, ensuring consistency across environments. C. Sandbox system. I would include a sandbox for testing innovations without impacting quality or production. D. Transport management. I would configure transport routes via CBC to move configurations from quality to production. E. Monitoring. I would use SAP Cloud ALM for end-to-end monitoring and test automation. This landscape supports rapid deployment and future-proofing. 23. Scenario: the client's legacy system has poor data quality impacting financial reporting. How would you ensure data accuracy in the new S/4HANA system? Answer: To ensure data accuracy in a greenfield S/4HANA implementation, I would establish robust data quality processes. I would use SAP Data Services to profile and cleanse legacy data, focusing on financial master data, such as general ledger accounts and cost centers. I would leverage the SAP S/4HANA Migration Cockpit to map and validate data against the Universal Journal (CDOCA). I would conduct multiple mock migrations in the quality system to identify and resolve discrepancies. Additionally, it would implement SAP Master Data Governance (MDG) for ongoing data governance, ensuring consistency. After go live, I would use embedded analytics to monitor data quality, ensuring accurate financial reporting. 24. Scenario: during the realize phase, a critical business process fails during integration testing. How would you address this? Answer: to address a failed business process during integration testing, I would follow a systematic approach. I would analyze test logs in SAP Cloud ALM to identify the root cause of the failure, such as a configuration error or data issue. In collaboration with functional teams, I would replicate the issue in the quality system and adjust configurations or data mappings accordingly. I would then rerun integration tests to validate the fix. To prevent recurrence, I would update test scripts in SAP, Signavio, Process Navigator, and document the resolution in SAP Solution Manager, ensuring a robust process for go live. 25. Scenario: the client wants to minimize downtime during the cut over to S/4HANA. How would you plan the cut over to achieve this? Answer: to minimize downtime during an S/4HANA cutover, I would implement meticulous planning. A detailed cutover plan. I would create a step-by-step plan in SAP Solution Manager, outlining tasks like final data migration, system shutdown, and go-live activities. B. Mock cutovers. I would conduct multiple dry runs in the quality system to validate timing and identify bottlenecks. C. Parallel processing. I would execute non-critical tasks, such as data validation, in parallel to compress the timeline. D. Automation. I would use the SAP S/4HANA Migration Cockpit for automated data loads to reduce manual effort. E. Stakeholder communication. I would provide real-time updates to stakeholders via SAP Cloud ALM. This ensures a downtime window of hours, not days, for a seamless go-live. 26. Curveball question. Scenario: post-go-live, critical financial report shows incorrect data, but the source data in a CDOCA is accurate. How would you investigate this under pressure from the CFO? Answer: to investigate incorrect financial report data under pressure, I would adopt a systematic approach. I would verify the report's logic in SAP Fiori or SAP Analytics Cloud, checking for errors in core data services CDS views or query definitions. Using SAP HANA Cockpit, I would trace the data flow from a CDOCA to the report, ensuring no aggregation or filtering issues exist. I would collaborate with the finance team to validate business logic and correct any misconfigurations. As a temporary workaround, I would provide manual data extracts to the CFO while resolving the issue. After resolution, I would test the report in the quality system and document the fix, ensuring accurate reporting. Please check description or comment section of this video. I have given a lot of links for downloading 8 PDFs in a single zip file, containing all types of most asked interview question and answers like scenario-based, technical-based, behavioral-based, real-world problem solving, generally most asked, system design, most asked implementation project-related questions and answers, support project-related questions and answers. Required for your SAP technical modules interviews jobs like SAP Basis admin jobs, SAP S/4HANA consultant jobs, SAP abap developer jobs, SAP abap OData developer jobs, SAP Fiori UE5 developer jobs, SAP abap HR consultant jobs, etc. etc. These questions and answers are carefully curated by industry experts, saving you people hours of research and ensuring you people will have the most accurate and relevant answers. This PDFs includes scenario-based questions and answers, real-world problem solving, interview questions and answers where almost 80% of the people are failing to answer, system design questions and answers where almost 90% of the people are failing to answer, with detailed solutions, which are often missing from free online resources. A lot of people are claiming that these questions are coming in real interviews. So, grab them as soon as possible with both hands. Since these questions and answers covers basic to advanced interview questions and answers, that's why given 50 question and answers for each section, these questions and answers will be helpful for freshers, 2 to 3 years experienced people, and 5 or above years experienced people. Also for your interviews, you people can download all 8 PDFs in a single zip file from below given links. 27. Scenario: the client wants to integrate IoT data into their S/4HANA system for predictive maintenance. How would you approach this? Answer: to integrate IoT data into S/4HANA for predictive maintenance, I would leverage SAP's digital core. I would use SAP Business Technology Platform (BTP) to connect IoT devices via SAP IoT services, streaming data into S/4HANA. During the realize phase, I would configure SAP Predictive Maintenance and Service PDMS to process IoT data and trigger maintenance workflows. I would test integrations in the quality system using SAP Cloud ALM to ensure data accuracy. After go live, I would monitor IoT data flows via SAP BTP Cockpit, enabling real-time insights and proactive maintenance. 28. Scenario: the client is concerned about regulatory compliance in their S/4HANA system. How would you ensure compliance with standards like GDPR? Answer: to ensure regulatory compliance like GDPR in a greenfield S/4HANA system, I would adopt a proactive approach. A. Data protection. I would implement SAP data protection and privacy features, such as data masking for sensitive fields like personal data. B. Access controls. I would configure SAP governance, risk, and compliance GRC to enforce role-based access, ensuring only authorized users access sensitive data. C. Audit trails. I would enable logging in SAP Solution Manager to track data access and changes for audit purposes. D. Data archiving. I would set up SAP Information Lifecycle Management (ILM) for data retention and deletion per GDPR guidelines. E. Regular audits. I would schedule compliance checks via SAP HANA Cockpit to identify and address gaps. This ensures adherence to regulatory standards and builds client trust. 29. Scenario: the client's legacy system has a high volume of transactional data. How would you optimize performance during data migration? Answer: to optimize performance for high-volume transactional data migration, I would implement careful planning. I would use the SAP S/4HANA migration cockpit with staging tables to handle large datasets efficiently. I would enable parallel processing to load data in batches, reducing runtime. I would also optimize HANA parameters, such as max_parallel_degree, to enhance throughput. I would conduct mock migrations in the quality system to fine-tune performance. And I would use SAP data services to cleanse and compress data to minimize load times. After migration, I would verify data integrity using reconciliation reports, ensuring a smooth transition. 30. Curveball question. Scenario: you are in the explore phase of a greenfield S/4HANA project. A business unit insists on recreating all their legacy custom reports as is in the new system. How would you handle it? Answer: I would start by conducting a fit-to-standard workshop to map each requested report to S/4HANA, standard analytics, and embedded Fiori apps. For each custom request, I would perform a value assessment checking business criticality, usage frequency, and whether S/4HANA CDS views can fulfill it. I would then challenge as-is migration by explaining the TCO, impact, and lost opportunity for simplification. My aim would be a 70 to 80% adoption of standard tools, only building custom content for gaps with clear ROI. This ensures the system remains lean while meeting real business needs. 31. Curveball questions scenario. A way through build. Finance requests changes in the chart of account structure, but integration testing with logistics is already planned for next week. What's your approach? Answer: I would first evaluate the COA, changes downstream, impact on data migration points, and testing scope. Then, I would run a quick impact analysis with finance and logistics leads to decide if the change is business critical now or can wait for a future release. If critical, I would activate a controlled change request process and adjusting the testing plan, revising migration mapping, and aligning cut-over timelines. This shows I can protect project governance while adapting to essential business changes without derailing the program. 32. Curveball question. Scenario. During cut-over planning, you discover master data cleansing for vendors is only 60% complete, but go live is 3 weeks away. What do you do? Answer: I would escalate the risk immediately in the cut-over readiness meeting and quantify the potential go live impact, like payment errors or blocked procurement processes. Next, I would create a focused data SWAT team combining business and technical resources to fast-track cleansing, using automation scripts, validation rules, and clear daily targets. I would parallelize migration mock runs while cleansing continues, so progress is measurable. If full completion isn't feasible, I would define a phased approach with a locked list of critical vendors for go live, ensuring business continuity while completing the remainder post go live. 33. Curveball question. Scenario. During Hypercare, a critical business process stops due to a misconfigured Fiori app, but the configuration team is unavailable. How would you resolve this without their support? Answer: to resolve a misconfigured Fiori application during Hypercare, without the configuration team, I would rely on quick thinking. I would access the Fiori Launchpad Designer using transaction/UI2/FLPD_cust to check application settings such as tile configurations or OData service bindings. I would review error logs in /IWFND/error_log to identify issues like missing roles or incorrect service activation. As a temporary workaround, I would enable a backup application or manual process to restore operations. I would then test the fix in the quality system and document changes in SAP Cloud (ALM), ensuring business continuity until the team becomes available. 34. Curveball question. Scenario in a greenfield S/4HANA implementation. The business wants to retain 10 years of historical transactional data in the new system for reporting. How would you approach this? Answer: I would explain that greenfield projects are designed for a clean start, and loading 10 years of full transactional history would bloat the HANA DB and slow performance. I would propose bringing in only open items and balances into S/4HANA, while archiving historical data in a central repository such as SAP BW for HANA, SAP DWC, or a non-SAP data lake with virtual access through CDS views or smart data access. This preserves performance, keeps licensing costs down, and still delivers full historical reporting capability. 35. Curveball question. Scenario. You are in the realize phase, and during testing, Material Ledger actual costing runs are taking hours to complete in S/4HANA. The finance team is alarmed. What do you do? Answer: I would first check configuration for parallel valuations and currencies, ensuring no unnecessary complexities are active. Then, I would analyze costing run performance via SAP, HANA Studio, or DBA Cockpit. focusing on index usage, batch size, and parallel processing parameters. If needed, I would work with bases to increase HANA memory allocation. For the job window and with functional consultants to split costing by plant or valuation area. This combines functional tuning and technical optimization to bring processing time back to acceptable limits. Please check description or comment section of this video. I have given a lot of links for downloading 8 PDFs in a single zip file, containing all types of most asked interview question and answers like scenario-based, technical-based, behavioral-based, real-world problem solving, generally most asked, system design, most asked implementation project-related questions and answers, support project-related questions and answers. Required for your SAP technical modules interviews jobs like SAP Basis admin jobs, SAP S4 HANA consultant jobs, SAP ABAP developer jobs, SAP ABAP O data developer jobs, SAP Fiori UE5 developer jobs, SAP ABAP HR consultant jobs, etc., etc. These questions and answers are carefully curated by industry experts, saving you people hours of research and ensuring you people will have the most accurate and relevant answers. This PDFs includes scenario-based questions and answers, real-world problem solving, interview questions and answers where almost 80% of the people are failing to answer, system design questions and answers where almost 90% of the people are failing to answer, with detailed solutions, which are often missing from free online resources. A lot of people are claiming that these questions are coming in real interviews. So, grab them as soon as possible with both hands. Since these questions and answers covers basic to advanced interview questions and answers, that's why given 50 question and answers for each section, these questions and answers will be helpful for freshers, 2 to 3 years experienced people, and 5 or above years experienced people. Also for your interviews, you people can download all 8 PDFs in a single zip file from below given links. For more exciting tips, tricks and more importantly, for valuable insights of interviews, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel. It has a lot of valuable information about various insights of interviews. It has a wide range of real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for interviews, and it has wide range of most asked interview questions and answers of various technologies like data science, SAP, AWS, DevOps, and full-stack web development and more. That will be useful during interviews. It has a wide range of most asked interview questions and answers and real-world portfolio projects of various technologies for freshers, for 2 to 3 years, experienced candidates, and for 5 or above years, experienced candidates to test their skills by knowing most asked interview questions and make themselves ready for interviews.